was asked to speak, I really struggled to come up with something that I felt needed to be said because I felt like it needed to be some life-changing speech that made everyone think super deeply about their lives. I thought I would be able to come up with something like this because I've been at this school for 13 years, which means I've experienced all of the ups and downs that Liberty has to offer. After I realized that this was a little out of my wheelhouse, I went to Mrs. Carr and asked for help. She suggested that I write a gratitude list. I wasn't super excited about this at first because it's a lot easier to talk about the things that are going wrong. I'm really, really good at finding something to complain about because it's easy to complain about homework or how the difficulty of an assignment is unreasonable. But after I thought about it for a while, that's not the legacy I wanted to leave behind. So I started writing a gratitude list, just like Mrs. Carr said. So here it is. I'm grateful for a small, tight-knit group of people who I can be myself around. Because of our small class sizes, we're able to know everyone and we all experience the same things because our lives are so intertwined. I'm grateful for teachers who are willing to answer questions and respond to emails at almost any time of the day, even when it means giving up their time at home. I'm grateful for the people who can make the most stressful classes more lighthearted by cracking jokes and finding the good in everything. I'm grateful for the people who have taught me that it's okay to laugh when I mess up. I'm grateful for the classmates who have given up their time to teach me math, grammar, astronomy, and a number of other subjects that I got confused in. They always did it in a way that was loving and not condescending, which makes asking for help a lot easier. I'm grateful for ukulele club and all of the fun that we have. It's important to have a calm and low-stress place where you can have a creative outlet. For me, that's music and swim. For you, that might be something like musical theater or cooking, reading, golfing, playing cards, or dancing. I'm thankful for my carpool buddies and our Aunt Fanny adventures. We always laugh and tease each other, and I will miss them so much next year. I'm thankful for a fun athletic environment where people make sure you don't feel awkward or out of place. We all grow as athletes and work together and are encouraging each other to work hard during workouts or when we do a kick set at practice and we simply cannot go anywhere in the pool. I'm grateful for the teachers who have moved quizzes so we can have more time to study, and the teachers who answered the same questions over and over to us so that we could understand the topic. I'm grateful for the teachers who give us someone to talk to and teach us how to think for ourselves. I'm grateful for the nights where I went to bed early instead of staying up super late to finish an assignment or studying for a test that I was stressed about. I'm grateful for the times where I spoke up to people about how they hurt my feelings, and for the times that people told me where I can improve when I hurt their feelings. I'm grateful for the times when I went to talk to teachers and administrators about rules or grades that I was confused about, and we were able to talk about where I felt confused and how I felt like something was wrong or unfair. Admin is willing to listen, and sometimes even compromise if you approach them with a humble mindset instead of simply wanting to argue or prove a point. I'm grateful for all of the clubs and groups I'm a part of because it keeps me entertained and it keeps my heart full. But I'm also grateful for the things that I said no to. As a Liberty students, we are often pushed to be involved in everything. It can feel like we are letting other people or even ourselves down when we say no to joining a club or doing extra projects or running an event. But it's so important to not overwork yourself because then you start resenting the things that you love. And then you get worn out. I'm grateful that I found a way to work hard and get required classes done in order to free up my schedule. This has given me time to enjoy reading books and even read extra books outside of school, like for fun. These are things to remember even when it feels like Liberty is working against you. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to go home early sometimes in order to be with your family. But it's also important to recognize and appreciate the skills we've been taught at Liberty. I know it's easy to become bitter and sarcastic when you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or tired. We often take out this stress on other people. So I'd like to give all of the students and staff a challenge that my mom told me every time I gave her attitude, which was a lot. Here it is. Next time you are feeling upset with yourself, someone else, Liberty, or your family, take a couple of seconds to think. 1, is it kind? And 2, is it necessary? If it doesn't meet those requirements, don't say it. We're all on the same team, and it's hard to remember that, especially when you feel like you can't say or do anything about your circumstances. Try to find something to be grateful for and understand that bad days happen. Sometimes you will say unkind and unnecessary things. We all do. Perfection is impossible, but as long as you have a humble attitude and a desire to improve, you will be able to leave your own positive legacy. Thank you.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of Liberty Common High School. If you don't know me already, my name is Brady Poore. I've been here since kindergarten, but don't be fooled, I'm only a Legion of 12er. I survived my middle school years here, but after 9th grade, I decided that it would be better for me to head on over to Fossil Ridge High School. After about a semester at the new school, I came to the conclusion that I needed to come back and complete my last 2 years as an Eagle. There are many things that I learned from that experience, but there are a couple that stuck out to me. First, the grass is rarely greener on the other side. I guarantee you that if you were from 7th to 9th grade, the thought of leaving the school and going to a public school has crossed your mind at one point or the other. So if that is you, just give me your attention for 30 seconds. You are going to have struggles no matter what situation you are in. However, what can separate you from the rest is how you handle the struggle. One of the most important things I have heard in my high school career was said by our soccer coach. Embrace the suck, boys. This was said during my freshman soccer man camp right after he told us to eat as much Chick-fil-A as we possibly could. At the time, I was an ignorant freshman and I was not smart enough to connect the dots on why only I and one other freshman were eating the chicken. Then the burpees began. What he said was true though. Make it so that you are not only living in the suck, but thriving in it. I won't lie, there are many awful nights of studying and homework that come along with going to Liberty. But if you just roll with the punches and keep moving forward one day at a time, you will truly learn to have fun with that. On top of that, if you truly believe that life at a place like Fossil or Collins will be better, I challenge you to go and sit down with someone that goes to those schools, and you will pretty quickly realize why Liberty might not be so bad. Now, I'm not trying to say that you can't find good people at those schools, but I am trying to tell you that no matter where you are, you will face your own challenges, and although the challenges might change based on where you are, they will never just disappear. I can't blame anyone for thinking that, though. I mean, I thought the same thing. I convinced myself, oh, life will be so much better after I leave Liberty. I'll be able to have more time for soccer, hang out with friends, and I'll have very little homework. As a matter of fact, little homework was an understatement. I maybe had a worksheet given to me once a quarter. It might sound pleasing to you all right now, but I can assure you that what you are doing here is actually benefiting you more than you know. Next, make the most of every situation. Be thankful that you have a few hundred people around you today that genuinely want to see you succeed. Although it might not seem like it when you see a D- coming in as your AP Stats grade of second semester, Mrs. McAllister, please take down that quiz. But tests and quizzes aside, we are beyond blessed to have people around us that are actively pursuing not only our education, but also us as humans. So when you get a chance, try and connect with the people around you. I promise you that if you start cherishing school and recognizing it as a place to gather rather than something that takes up 7 hours of every day, you will start to make connections and memories that will last you a lifetime. But that doesn't have to only be inside school. Throughout the rest of your high school years, try and have fun. Not everything in life depends on that one test. Invite your friends over for dinner, hang out with your family, and most importantly, go do things that actually make you happy. Whether it is sports, music, or education, find that one thing that makes the minutes go by slower because you just cannot wait to be there doing that thing. Lastly, I would like to share some memories about my classmates that have made the years go by a lot quicker. Sam Miller, for having a whipped cream fight with me in college algebra and then proceeding to clean it up with the school's Ghostbuster vacuums. Reese Cushman, for getting thrown up on during freshman year two-a-days by a senior. Was that initiation? None of us are sure. Asher Black, for going and spamming Luke Tynan's doorbell with me and running away from them at 10 o'clock at night. Sorry, Luke. Boris and Brooks, for letting us shave their heads. Sean O'Malley, for providing me with entertainment in AP Gov while watching him eat fried rice with a candy cane. Bill Sears, for causing me to be up at 3 a.m. cleaning up toilet paper on my house. And Andrew Dutoy, for telling us the funny things that they would say in the Singaporean train station. If you know, you know. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Phoebe Helm. I have also been here since kindergarten, so we're officially in year number 13. All right, so I really struggled with, trying to come up with something, because how am I supposed to create a highlight reel of my time at Liberty and, possibly give you guys any advice that you haven't already heard about 4 or 5 times? So I have learned a lot in my little bit over a decade, so I figured I'd share some of the highlights. All right, Liberty is an interesting place. I think we all know that. I think that's kind of an understatement. But I will tell you that Liberty isn't easy, but most things that are worth doing aren't. And I think that's what makes them worth doing. That being said, I can almost guarantee that the struggle isn't going to be the main thing that you remember. Yes, the blood, sweat, and tears I put into this school are memorable, but there's a few more things that come to mind. Being part of Ketchum's first batch of savages and watching him figure out how to deal with nearly 80 eighth graders, 90 of us. That time he threw Nathan's shoe down the hallway and then joked about giving him a tardy and a dress code violation while Nathan was sprinting down the hallway after his shoe, which he doesn't remember, which I think is kind of funny. Then there's being in Tullius's class, which if you take Lord of the Rings, you know that you spend a large chunk of time not talking about Lord of the Rings. But his tangents, in my opinion, were always worth it, because he always talks about some idea or belief or little story that wouldn't have popped into my brain, so I always enjoyed his tangents. Then there was that span about 2 weeks when Tullius brought up Hitler almost every other day in AP Lit. We joked that we would get him a sign to say that he does not endorse Hitler in any way, shape, or form. So that was fun. Spending the first, usually 10 minutes of any class you have with Disciple, waiting for him to figure out whatever computer issue or projector issue. In his defense, I love his classes, like all of them, so I thought it was fun. I enjoy myself. And then, of course, Mr. Curry and his shaggy dog stories after a very, usually, long block day of geometry or algebra. Lots of people groaned, but I always thought they were fun. And they made, again, a very long, boring block day a little more worth it. The year that I took anatomy and physiology, for the final, we took it early so that we could spend that day coloring. I also spent that 8th period study hall, instead of in the Acropolis, in Mrs. Carr's room, watching the movie Cars and making bracelets in the back, which I appreciated because I was sick that week, so. Literally any first period AM Lit class with Mr. D, except for when you have a test, because those are terrifying, but besides the point. But especially his deranged reading of The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe, and his lovely, lovely presentation of The Yellow Wallpaper. That certainly woke me up that morning. I loved reading and talking about Gatsby, and the week that we spent on Gothic literature, so those are some fun memories. All of these are things that come into mind when I think of my 13 years here at Liberty. Some of my favorite moments are just surrounded with people, because in my personal opinion, the best part of Liberty is the people. From amazing teachers to students alike, we are what make Liberty what it is. My favorite memories are either from dances or events, weekend movie nights, senior sunrise, that was fun, birthdays, conversations with the gaggle of underclassmen I adopted, whomst I love dearly, and just days spent out of the town with my favorite people. So don't feel like you have to devote every extra second to school and extracurriculars. Maybe don't study for 5 hours, maybe go watch a movie. Go hang out with friends, watch a movie with your family, spend time with those around you, because life will get busy. Don't forget to enjoy middle and high school, because senior year comes a lot faster than you think. It certainly snuck up on me, so. When you walk through those double doors on your first day here, you won't be the same person you are when you leave. That is a fact, whether you've been here for a year or your whole life. Liberty changes you. For the better or for the worse, I think is up to you, but I know I have my opinions about it. Either way, you leave smarter than you came, with a lot of inside jokes and crazy stories, because let's be real, there's no other school like Liberty. We're special. Standing at the end of a very, very long journey with Liberty, I can tell you that the effort, energy, long nights, and cramped wrists all lead to the moment you can look at yourself in the mirror. You can look at yourself and feel proud of the things you've accomplished and the person you've become. We're almost done with this year, which is a little crazy to me, feels a little fast, but we're almost there. So don't quit, and you'll be just fine.
Hi everybody, my name is Justin Bate. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the balance game that is a Liberty academic career. So we all live very full lives, I know. We've got a whole bunch of people who are in sports, and then you have clubs, and then balancing that with family life. It's a lot, and I know it's a lot. And you have to have a list of priorities, I think, to be able to not just survive your Liberty career, but to actually be able to enjoy it to its fullest potential. So let me just talk numbers to you guys for a little bit. I wake up at 6, and then I get here at 6:45. School ends at 2:45, and I get back home at 3:15. That is 9 hours of the day devoted to my Liberty career, okay? Like doctors, they recommend like 15-hour days and then like 9 hours of sleep and rest, all that good stuff. So 60% of the day is here, like physically. And then obviously you guys all have homework. You guys love that, I'm sure. And I'm just going to say on average an hour-ish, maybe not, probably a lot more for a few of you guys, maybe not any for those who don't do your homework, but that's okay. And that's another hour. So that's 10 hours out of your 15 already spent just on school, right? That is 67% of your day. That's a lot. And you have to use the rest of that, which is just 5 hours, to do everything else. That's sports, family, faith, clubs, jobs, all of it. And so you can't really do that all in those 5 hours when you're at school during the week. Weekends, heaven, paradise, do whatever you want, but during the week, you got to kind of be focused on the things that matter most. So that means you got to have priorities, right? You got to know what's at the top and what is not at the top. And I do not think that school should be at the top. Faith and family should always be above school no matter what. And if you realize that that is not the case, you have to go through and rethink where you're at in your life and what you actually need to value to get where you want to be next. And that's difficult because this is an incredibly rigorous academic environment. It's hard because like the majority of the week we are focused on school. And that's a good thing. We should be. We are students and middle schoolers and high schoolers. But just because you're a middle schooler or high schooler does not mean that only school is all you do. You have to have time for everything else because that is what is able to balance our lives and not just keep us defined in what we do, because we all get bad grades as well. Like I've had a few, maybe more than a few, but I know we've all had those outliers, you know, those rare times when you don't do well on the test, and those suck. I mean, they're hard because you study, you think you know what you're doing, and then it just doesn't show up with the grade. And grades are a whole nother issue with results-based, and I just think they're a necessary evil because I've thought a lot about trying to figure out a better way, and there's nothing I can do about it. So because of that, you can't define your life about where you're at in school. You have to have other things to do. But we all have a lot of other things. I've got a huge list of things that I want to do outside of school, and that's just not realistic for the amount of time that we spend here. So you have to figure out what your top few are, because that's the only way to keep yourself from spreading yourself too thin. Because if you spread yourself too thin, all of the stuff you do, whether you really enjoy it or you don't, it requires time and effort. And you only have so much time and effort through a week. So if you use all of your time and effort doing things that either you like or you don't like, you will be spent. You will be absolutely cooked at the end of the week, and I'm speaking from experience. Trust me. I will spend time at school, and then I will go home, and I will get right to work doing pole vault or like even video games. And then I'll go to bed, and I'll wake up, and I will feel destroyed the next day because it is exhausting living that kind of life, okay? So you have to find the balance. You have to know where it is where you have to have school because you are a student, and that is your responsibility, the rest of your life, family, faith, and then all the other hobbies you have. It's good. All these things are really good, but if you have too much of one or the other, it can be very dangerous to your mental health and just your overall mood. We all want to have fun, right? We all just want to hang out. But sometimes you just have to take a step back from everything. You just have to look at life, the big goals, the small stuff. You have to see where it all fits in the grand puzzle of this beautiful life that we've been given, right? And so that's my, I guess, quest for you guys, is to go home, just sit down, think of all the stuff you love. It should be fun because these are the things that you enjoy the most, okay? And rank them. Figure out where they go. Figure out your responsibilities. They go in there too, because these are the things you have to do, the things you want to do, all of it. Make a huge list, make it comprehensive, and figure out what's at the top. Top 5, what are they? Figure out where school goes in that list. Because for all of us, it's different. We're all unique. We all have our own passions. Some of us, we love school. We're really good at it. Others of us, we like school. We're not very good at it. Some of us don't like school at all and are good at it. So it's all a huge different rank. I know a lot of these guys back here, it's crazy. They don't do anything. They hate school, and they get 4.0 like without even trying. It's ridiculous. So figure out where all that is, and leave time for rest. Leave time for just, not rest as in playing video games, but rest as in just like sitting and just being in the moment, taking a step back from everything, the things you like, the things you don't like, and just think about where you're at, where you want to be, where you have been. Don't overlook your accomplishments, even right now. A lot of you guys think you haven't done much. I was talking to Mrs. Dietrich about this. But we have all impacted somebody's life. I know already, all of you guys have had an impact on somebody else's life, and that is not to be overlooked. You can't get so lost thinking about what you're going to do that you lose sight of the things that you already have. So just keep that in mind, get your priorities straight, and just live your life focused on the top few when you're during the week so you don't spread yourself too thin. Weekends, go crazy. Do whatever you want. And just enjoy it. Try to have fun, and see you guys. I won't be here next year.
Hi, I'm Sean. I have been at Liberty for 13 years, and here is what I've learned. The first thing is that Liberty community and my friends that come with it are better than any I could ever ask for. I will never find people like the ones I've met here, whether it's the people younger than me, Cohen, Spencer, Wyatt, Tegan, Charlie, Solomon, Tyler, Ella, Keelan, I guess, and countless others. The ones to leave earlier, Patrick, Abby, Danny, Spencer, Aaron, Jet, and more that have inspired me every single day, or my absolute dogs behind me. I can't name all of them off, but there is no way I could thank them all enough for making me the person I am today. Liberty is the only place to foster this community. I can't imagine another system where I feel so close to so many people, regardless of grade, friend group, or interests. There is nowhere else I could think someone would feel as connected to so many people as here. Whether it's because of the collective trauma from physics or not, we are all in this together. The sport games, the houses, mentor groups, you all love them. You love them. If you say you don't love them, you're lying. 7th and 8th graders, listen to me. Listen to my words. I'm not going to be here next year, but for me, please give mentor groups a try and really try loving them, because I'm sure that they are so much fun as you make them. The Liberty community really is the best, so cherish it while it's there. Teachers, it's genuinely impossible to state how amazing most of the teachers at Liberty are. Now, there is no other school in such quality instructors. You can hate on Liberty all you want, but it is impossible to deny how amazing the people leading the classes are. From the depths of Latin 1, 2, and 3, or the emotionally scarring Spanish 1 and 2, I would have not made it if it wasn't for the love and passion from Mrs. Klauser, Bradley, and Dietrich. As students, you have the chance to learn and be guided by some of the most caring and loving language teachers in the state. So use this while you have the chance. Teachers like them can care for you and your successes more than anyone, and it was a blessing to have them in my life. The mathematics department, with Mr. Curry, Mr. Stoyanovich, Mrs. Salahi, Landon, and McAllister, are without question some of the most brilliant people to have instructed me. I totally get that some of the classes might be hard. Don't worry, I get it. I've been struggling with them every day for 6 years. But if you're willing to talk to them one-on-one, you will quickly find out how much they know and how excited they are to share their knowledge with you. Use your 9th hours for clubs, yes, but don't sleep on the extra help these instructors want to give. They are here for you. Finally, the English department, with Mr. Holton, Dean Tullius, and Mrs. Renstrom. If you put in the effort to really listen to what they are saying, I promise you will be blown away by their immense wisdom. Sometimes it's hidden behind crude jokes and extra long tangents, but these guys do know what they're talking about far better than you realize, and putting in the work to digest the words and stories they share is well worth it. The teachers are what make Liberty without question, so listen to them, get to know them, and befriend them, and you will be shocked by how much better your Liberty experience gets. Now, I'm going to try my best to gaslight you into thinking the Liberty curriculum is actually really good. Yeah, I know. It sucks sometimes. I really do. I can't count the amount of times I've stayed up past my bedtime, 7:30, working at school, skipped out on events in order to study, or just stared off into space, comprehending the meaning of my small life in this vast universe of existential dread. But it's going to be worth it once you need a strong work ethic out in the real world. The point of Liberty, in my eyes, is to develop the skills on how to work and stay focused. You can get a plenty good education at public schools, but it is genuinely incredible how much more prepared for life I am than some of my friends who are not at Liberty. And I think that all comes down to knowing how to study without stopping. I've learned how to actually tame my procrastination and stop putting off the work until the last minute. Time management is such an important skill that some people never get the chance to master. Overall, Liberty really does excel at making you a tough and hard worker. All right, the only way to finish this off is with this very pristine presentation off is to hear some wise words in the form of quotes from faculty and staff that are full of really great advice. First, you cheat on a quiz, and the next thing, you'll be cheating on your wife. Mr. D. So Mason found my credit card, and he did use it to buy $100 worth of V-Bucks. Mrs. McAllister. Ladies and gentlemen of Liberty, please open your textbooks so we can begin our historical orgy. Mr. Mayor. Tommy guns, you know. Dr. Petting. I'm not saying I'm a communist, but Mrs. Dietrich. And then Mr. Tullius would follow up with, that would be a good band name. The first kid is objectively the best. The rest are replacements. Mr. Reynolds. And finally, as the Honorable Bob Schaefer always says, I don't do anything for free.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone. My name is Cass Bassett, and I'm a Liberty Common Senior, just like the majority of us up here. Hold on a second. Today, what I get to be doing is speaking out. So what am I speaking out about, you may ask? Well, I just have two things for you all before you can go out and go your different ways. Both of the things I'm talking about are indeed references to Mark Rober's MIT commencement speech. I'm speaking out today about reckless optimism and a bit of playful anarchy. I was reading something a few days ago about the domino mindset. The idea behind it is that every time you do something that brings you joy, whether it be getting a good grade, having fun with your friends in the halls, or watching Bill Sears absolutely dominate at naming the Christmas songs, you add a domino to your stack. But as soon as one thing goes wrong, it's like everything good that happened doesn't matter. This mindset can ruin your week, your day, or even your year. But that's where the optimism side comes in. Maybe pre-calc wasn't just a really hard class that you barely survived. Maybe it was also a chance to make friends and grow closer with your classmates. Maybe AP US History isn't just another class where you have to take Cornell notes, but one where you get college credit for listening to more Mayorisms. So that's the optimism side, and this is the reckless optimism. There is something absolutely epic about everything that you get to do in life if you're willing to go out and see it. And if there's anything I've learned from high school, it's that when life gives you lemons, or more accurately, when Sean O'Malley gives you a singular random lemon from his backpack filled to the brim with lemons, I still need context for that, by the way. It's time to make lemonade. But why stop there? You don't have to follow the cliche of making lemon sugar water. You can make lemon poppy seed cupcakes, or lemon bars, lemon cheesecake, or lemon ice cream. The single best way to enjoy high school is to go out, go all in, and fill your time with the kinds of random awesomeness that leaves the majority of people asking, why in the world? Because then what you get to do is Uno reverse card the question and ask, why not? Why not pull a Jack Friesen and build a functioning Hobbit door for homecoming? Or a Mr. D, leaving the whole class laughing so hard they can't breathe because you just accidentally ran into a meeting full of senators while flapping your arms and yelling, I'm a real boy. Why not create a new rock climbing club, or a car smash fundraiser, or a Lego delivering giraffe bot? Why not take the classes you love, and why not find ways to love the ones you don't? Why not create just a little bit of playful anarchy? Why not make life fun? Now, I would really love to finish this up and be like, oh, with a bit of optimism and a bit of looking outside the box, life is going to be sunshine and rainbows. But we all know that's a lie. In truth, it's going to get dark. Maybe it already has gotten dark. Maybe what you need to be doing with your time is being as awesome as these seniors back here and learning to really love life. So hats off to you guys, class of 2024, and I can't wait to be hats off with you at graduation.